Welcome to News Game Plus.
I can count in my head, I don't need you.
I need fingers, I'm old. Welcome to News Game Plus. I'm Dermie and I'm here with Jason O'Callaghan. New Game Plus producer. I did it the wrong way around, but you normally talk over your name.
I do, and I talked over everything instead this time.
And we were saying before, your head is like 3 times the size of mine.
Yeah, I mean...
How come you can't move things with your brain?
People assume, like, I've had someone say, it's like, why do you sit so much further forward than Dermie? I'm like, I don't.
You don't. It looks like I'm in the background.
Dermie's a normal-sized human, and I'm just not.
Looks like when you see cricketers and there's one fielding, like, close
like the forced perspective, yeah.
It's funny, because I sit next to you, and I look, like, a size smaller. And then I used to sit next to Oz, who's a normal-sized person, and he looks a size smaller again. Yeah. Like, we fit inside each other like Russian dolls.
Yeah, Matryoshka, yeah. You know they stole that off the Japanese, yeah? They had the Daruma first that did that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I am not surprised you know that.
I mean, look... It's like even...
You're a Japanese man trapped in a giant white body.
Yeah. We had that conversation on Discord again the other day. What was it? Someone called me a Japanophile or a Japan enthusiast. And I'm like, I think I know, it makes it a bit... It makes it a bit weird. Yeah, I don't see... Because I don't... It just... That's not how my brain works for attraction. It's not like, oh, she's X, therefore Y. But at the same time, yeah, Japan enthusiast, I'll take over weeb, I guess.
I tell you, back in my dating days, because I'm post 50, used to be she's XY. She's alive, therefore. Yeah. Things have changed a lot.
Yeah. What are you now? 75 or something? So.
Yeah, no, I'm not quite a boomer. I'm actually a few years off being technically a boomer.
Well, so I'm on that fringe of X and millennial. So I'm like
X is a good one because X hates everybody.
Yeah.
Xings and millennials are dickheads and boomers are dickheads.
X is the edgy team.
We were the original ones where everybody thought didn't fit in and were troublemakers. But that's just because boomers think every young person is the enemy.
Yeah. Well,
they're trying to take my money.
Like when they put Zoom in
jobs in healthcare, in education.
All those jobs out there at the moment, shout outs to all the people about to lose their job.
Well, I had that conversation with a boomer the other day. He won't say who, but telling me that unemployment benefits are too high and that people are just not working because the unemployment benefits are keeping us trouble. And I said, how much are the unemployment benefits? And he goes, I don't know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah, when I saw Matty in Ikebukuro, we met him at the Hub pub there, and it was very easy. I was just like, "Where are you at the moment?" We're trying to find each other, and then basically it was like I was walking across the things. Oh no, I see you.
Actually, I remember we met that person, and like we were talking about the size before, because Prospect was with us. It was us two, Prospect, and someone else, and Prospect's pretty big as well.
Yeah,
right?
Prospect's taller than me.
And these persons come up and go, "Holy shit, you guys!" Yeah, so that was good fun. Anyway, it was like that when I used to live for a little while in Singapore.
That's right. Yeah, it would have been.
And it was very simple. I'd hop in elevators, and the kids would be going, "Wow!"
Yeah.
Things have changed now. You notice they say heights and everything within 2 generations, even up in the same environment.
Because it's about the feeding of when they're kids.
Yeah, and you do notice now there's a lot of very big Asians and Indian people.
Yeah,
taller than me. Anyway, what are we talking about? Games.
Video games.
I've been playing a ripper.
What?
Oh no! See, I've been playing this game. I've been dying to do this.
Here we go.
I've been playing this game, right, where you're going to have to guess the game, right? You can have sex with prostitutes. You can murder. I know, rape. You can rape women. You can steal all the money you want. There's even a stealth component where you can sneak into offices and wank. Guess what the game's called? Liberal Party.
Liberal Party. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, because Peter Dutton. This is straight into news. Peter Dutton said that the reason there's all this sexism in the world, which I think cultural issue, where he lives, is because of Grand Theft Auto. And so the Australian government has done it after a month of rapes and basically sexual
allegations
and wanking on people's desks and covering it up. And best thing about that game I played, by the way, no cops.
They
don't come up to you no matter what you do.
Because then what happens is you unlock the cheat where what you do is you take the chief commissioner of the cops and you parachute him into a safe Liberal seat, and that's basically like the ultimate get out. Like you just don't get hassled by the cops.
It's quite an amazing open world game. Like everybody should play it, I think. But so Peter Dutton has basically said after all the shit going on with the Liberal Party this month with all the and look, you got some guys who raped 3 women. They still won't say who he is. He went and blamed Grand Theft Auto, and that is, and the whole video game community
and TikTok. Don't forget so all those Gen X. I mean, I know you love TikTok. I know you're on TikTok 24/7.
I'm a bit old to be on TikTok.
Well, that's the argument.
My age
all the Gen Xers on TikTok apparently are the ones who are causing all these issues, because all those Zoomer Liberal Party members.
I have no doubt that Andrew Lemming is fapping himself into a coma every day on TikTok. I have no doubt.
I told you I got banned from his Facebook page because I went in on him for having a go at that woman. For Alex Russo or whatever her name.
He's always fighting with the Simpsons against the Liberals page. He's a giant wanker.
Anyway. Yeah, and I remember going in on him, and I just, it's like the fact that it's now news. It's so insane to me that this was. You've got Andrew Bolt blaming the gays, and you've got Peter Dutton blaming GTA.
Peter Cradlin said big gay orgies.
Yeah, big.
It's in South Park.
Yeah, I feel like
Tim Wilson comes out and says, "Don't think I look good in this hat."
Yeah.
What are these people doing?
This is why South Park has struggled since Trump.
I think we're playing a political.
How do you satirize the current world? Nothing you can do.
Stone and Park are going to have to move to Australia.
Yeah.
It's boring over in the US right now.
Look, I don't know, man. Like, it's so bizarre. So that's
Sleepyhead.
Yeah. That's the. It's just back to business as usual over in America.
Bombing and killing and mass shootings. They're back to usual.
Yeah, three in 4 days. Jesus Christ. No problem, guys.
So I know we've gone straight on.
I said no politics in this thing as well.
We did, but
absolutely no politics.
I had to do it because Peter Dutton blamed Grand Theft Auto for sexism, and you don't often see the whole video game community unite and go, what a fuckhead. But they did. Everybody just went, here's off. So that's the game. It's quite an interesting game. Hopefully they release it for everybody else some point. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully they don't.
They just put in the bin.
Okay, now let's talk more Gronks.
Yes.
You're going to love this one. You probably snuck a look at
Fallujah or something.
No, I'm going to get there. This must be Gronk week.
It's Gronk week. Okay. They're getting out of their system now while they can use it as a distraction.
Welcome to New Gronk Plus. So, anyway, first one, Ghost of Tsushima. I might sneeze in a moment. I might have coronavirus.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Ghost of Tsushima.
You tell me now.
Hang on. Ghost of Tsushima. Look at it. There you go.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What's that? That's a relic of a bygone era.
Yeah. What? Last week?
Yeah. You people can't hear now because your voice won't travel. It'll ricochet off the thing.
Huh?
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's why Sub-Zero sounds awful in the movie.
If I sneeze, just send me for test.
Give me the Kenny of the group. All
right. So Ghost of Tsushima is getting a movie.
So I've said you can record me from the first...
I wrote this down.
First episode.
I know what you're going to say. Go.
Movie Gronks. The film Gronks have taken over Sony. It's no longer a Japanese
Sony take over by Movie Gronks.
There you go.
I knew you were going to say it. I could write your script.
Yeah, no. But I mean, it's... the annoying thing for me is... Because people just assume that... Well, I'm like, I want to be wrong. I would much rather be so wrong about Jim Ryan that... I sit here and I go, wow, Sony just wowed me. And that's what House did. I will say that. I'm amazed at how well House capitalised on this thing. And that's what annoys me so much, is I'm just like, they're coasting on a reputation that they're very quickly losing. Last of Us TV show makes sense. Ghost of Tsushima.
No,
Sony,
we haven't seen it yet. It'll be interesting.
But okay. But I feel like...
I got some Last of Us 2 coming up.
I feel like Druckmann has always wanted to write a TV show, so it fits, right? Tsushima.
So he's David Cage.
Yeah. If Cage went and made shitty HBO series, I think he'd be a better producer. You know what I mean? Anyway, look. But I feel like Tsushima, done by an American company, how far removed do we have to start going? Well, hang on, guys. Let's just dial this back.
You heard who the director is?
No.
The director is John Wick's director, the original John Wick director.
Okay.
Can't say his name. It's like
Chad something, isn't it?
That's it, Chad Stiletsky or something.
Yeah. Okay.
So that gave me hope because the original John Wick was awesome. Since then,
I mean, look,
so much.
Have you seen Raid? Raid to me is always in that
Raid Shadow Legends.
No.
Are we sponsored now?
Well done. Now make a gaming.
Where's our money?
No. Raid the Indonesian movie where it's like the two guys, the two coppers. There's a squad of coppers. They assault this building.
Sounds un-Australian. I've been playing LMP. Why would I watch an Indonesian movie?
Right. Get your Bahasa dictionary out. But yeah,
maybe I've done the George Christensen level. Oh wait, that's not even.
No, that's still games. Have you seen Dread? You've seen Dread, haven't you? The You haven't seen Dredd? That's like the
Judge
best.
Dredd?
Yeah, as in the new one, not the one with Arnie, not the one with
Stallone.
Stallone.
No.
The new one's really good, but it's based off the Raid, which was the Indian
Shadow
movie.
Legends.
Stop doing that. And
the thing
with, okay, the reason I bring up the Raid is because Raid 2 did the thing that John Wick tried to do, but it did it successfully. Raid 1 was just tense. It was like these 10 coppers trying to survive in this building full of scumbags, right? And so it was tense. The fight scenes were sick. It was so good. And then the new one comes out.
It was like Deus Ex when I played it.
Yeah.
Except the other way around.
And then Raid 2 comes out, and Raid 2 is basically a shonen anime in fight form, right? So it's like he's undercover, and all the different bad guys have like a different thing. Like one of them just swings hammers, and like it's like something out of an anime. But it works because it just goes, we're going to go full absurdist tilt on here, and the only time factor is old mate, I forget his name. But with John Wick 1, 2, and 3, 1 was fantastic because it was just such a simple story. You killed his dog, he
was
kill
just
you.
a puppy.
That's the end. Number 2, I didn't hate. Like,
it wasn't on the same level. Ruby Rose is the worst boss ever.
Which was the one with Mark
seen.
Dacascos in it? The chef in it. The chef. I think that was 3. He was the best part of 3 for me. Yeah. So it's like Dallas says, it's turning Fast and Furious.
Okay, Dallas just commented saying, I assume he means John Wick will be in space fighting bad guys.
Yeah.
Which actually happened at the end of Sword Art Online. Spoiler, but anyway.
Oh my god, normie anime. But yeah,
I love it. It's the best anime. Yeah. Best cartoon other than Simpsons.
I feel like he did, like, the first movie was great. The universe itself wasn't bad, and that's why 2 still worked, was because it was like, here's, now let's sing. But number 3, he's in the middle of the Arabian desert, entering a blood pact, and then he's got Halle Berry who runs on the strong.
Look, I gotta say, if you put Halle Berry in a movie, it already goes from a 0 to a 9 out of 10 as far as I'm concerned. Because that's my vintage.
Yeah,
But then it went down a lot when I watched it because it's pretty shit.
Yeah, it's real shit.
And it just was dumb, didn't make sense.
Yeah, John Wick vs Godzilla. Yeah, I've heard worse movies. Yeah.
It's got a good chance,
actually.
Yeah. It's the John Wick 2 and 3 were crap. But anyway, Ghost of Tsushima, directed by John Wick director, which makes it interesting, but
gives it a hope. But it's movie gronks.
As you said, you've been saying forever, their movie gronks has taken over, and I'm wondering now, are they going to milk all their video game things?
Exactly what is going to happen
because
next.
They can't.
Days Gone will be a TV show. They'll do a Ratchet and Clank animated series.
A zombie show.
They'll do. Yeah, I know. Who would have thought? What are the big ones? They won't do a God of War one because it'll cost too much. They might do a movie, but God of War at the moment kind of stands alone enough that they won't do it. But all their major franchises will start getting this now. Like, they've just got no reason. Like Twisted Metal's apparently getting a movie.
So they basically see, this is what happens when you get people take over a business that does something, but they don't understand it. They only understand where they came from. That happened with YouTube and that, right?
Yeah.
They don't understand, so they go, well, you know what make this platform really good that I don't understand? Being like the one I do understand, and you go, hey, piss off, boomer. Yeah. Even as it was,
Twitch is in that weird thing at the moment where they're still very. Like, they don't think things through, and it's also very community focused and all that kind of stuff. But you can see the Amazon influence more and more, just the wavering of things.
Just give it time.
Yeah,
give it time.
Always.
Yeah. And Maddie on our chat. I know.
For the first time in my life, Dermie, I'm on your side on a movie conversation.
You okay, Maddie?
Yeah, what world are we in?
The third was good. Yeah. What movie series was the third good? Yeah. Actually, is there a movie series where the third was actually good?
No, I didn't hate Terminator 3, but that's just me. So.
Oh, that was one with the metal chick.
Yeah.
That metal woman.
Yeah.
That was actually good. I didn't mind that.
The special effects were shit ass, but I didn't hate that one.
No, I liked that.
I liked the new one, though, and I seem to be the only person who liked the new one.
Yeah, maybe.
The new one was good. I just like it.
We'll have to get on to the other movie. Have you seen it yet?
Which one?
The Snyder Cut.
No. But I told you, maybe that's what I'll do for next week's episode.
You watch it. We got it.
I'll specifically watch the Snyder Cut, and then we can just do a podcast.
I've watched it twice so far, and the second time I did.
People with taste are actually saying it's alright. That's what's getting you over the line.
Like that's like me. So clearly, you knew enough the moment I said it was good.
Let's keep going.
Okay, quick one. Among Us is coming to Game Pass.
That'll be fun. Unsurprising, but I mean it's too late. They've released that map, and they've missed any wave. It's just going to be suddenly we went from earning a couple $100,000 each to literal millionaires, how do we justify it? Let's make a map, but we'll release it too late for anyone to care. So.
EA players come to Game Pass on PC?
Yeah, which was always expected, but
at some point they said early this year, and that's happened now.
So that gives even more kind of weight to the idea that Ubisoft are going to strike a special deal as well. Yeah. What they reckon it'll be is you buy a Game Pass, you get the base EA thing, and then if you want the extra stuff, you pay like an EA extra for a couple of dollars or whatever, and that gives you access to the new ones. I don't think that's a bad idea. I think that'll do well for them if they do it. So,
it's something like Sims 4. You can now play and spend $10,000 on all the packs, so you can get it free on Game Pass. Okay, now let's go back to Gronkland. 6 days in Fallujah. Now, this week it has been silly. Let's just say it has been silly. There's a petition saying that the game shouldn't be released because it hasn't come out yet, but people are saying it'll normalise the murder of Iraqis.
I mean, America's done that for 25, 30, 40 years.
Okay, this is where I was going to go, and you've gone there already, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what normalises the murder of Iraqis? Yeah. Being in Iraq, the US military being in Iraq, and murdering Iraqis. Yeah. Okay, apologies to the viewers and the listeners, but seriously, we've got to have this chat, right? The game can do it at once, right? But it's based on actual things that happen.
Yeah.
And those things that happened, if people spent as much time getting upset, and this is where we went a few weeks back on the podcast, if people spend as much time getting upset with the things that actually happen and that the US actually does and the people it actually murders as games, then we might be able to fix something, and they wouldn't have a game. They wouldn't have 6 days in Fallujah to make games about. Right? They'd have to make fantasy stuff
because this is the conversation around it. You know, Spec Ops didn't specifically call out a particular. It made up its own conflict. But it handled it so...
Still in the Middle East.
It's Dubai.
So it was still Middle East. Dubai, okay, there's no conflict there. But it was still in the same place. It was still, the
pressure cooker,
Arabs and stuff. Yeah.
And so I feel like... it was doing Heart of Darkness. I get that. Like, I mean, everyone's doing everything. Lion King is just Hamlet, right? So, like, all these things are fine, right? But it just becomes how well you handle it. And if you handle it with any kind of nous or any kind of... any kind of credibility or understanding of the topic, then that matters more. I'm not convinced Fallujah will even go remotely deep enough on it, and more and more it's about the US troops and what they faced and what they dealt with. It's like they could have just not been there. Like
they could have,
If you want to talk about, you want to talk about Vietnam, and you want to talk about World War II, right? World War II, we sent plenty of young blokes over. Well, we didn't send them. We sent them to Papua New Guinea to fight back an enemy that was going to take us over and change our life. And you can go into the complexities of it and different thing, but it was a different fight.
That's why World War II is the exception. It's one where people can have a good verse. It's why everyone loves it. The Nazis were cartoonishly
categorically evil. Even the Japanese to an extent.
Mind you, the Yanks were supplying them and loved them. And
I mean,
Prescott Bush, they loved them. So the Bush dynasty were big fans of him. So the Yanks then pretended that they hated him. When it came down to who had more power.
Americans started eugenics. Hitler was amazed at how far the Americans had got.
They did take a lot of their scientists who did a lot of war crimes.
Exactly. So with that in mind, right? Vietnam conscription, awful idea, right? That we were sending people to die to hold back the commie threat or something. When realistically it was to save the French.
Yeah, no, the French got their I feel strongly about that. And knowing Vietnam vet and having talked a lot about it, is if you're a professional soldier, then that's your job.
Yeah,
that is my if you're a normie, you shouldn't be anywhere near.
East Timor, to an extent, I can half agree with that being a true peacekeeping mission. To me, that is one of the
but we waited long enough that they got fucked up.
Exactly, and that was a debt paid in blood from ages ago, right?
Yeah,
and we waited to again.
Also weak enough to instill their will.
Exactly, and that's what I mean. And in the end, we still screwed them over.
Podcast, sorry guys.
The Liberal Party screwed them over. Let's go back to
the
main guy, Alexander Downer, especially worst dog on. Even of them, he's one of the worst dogs. Anyway. Moral story is, if you sign up to be a soldier nowadays, you got to know you're basically a mercenary. For all intents and purposes, you're going off to some random Middle Eastern country to...
Well, if you're an American soldier, you go, well, will we go to war? Won't we go to war? Yes, because you're always at war.
Yeah, and that's why they're so loath to make poor people any kind of stable, because they know they need the poor people sending their kids to die in foreign beaches to... keep everything circulating. When you've got Biden's new Secretary of Defense, the Raytheon shareholder.
Yeah, they're just back to quietly doing evil.
Exactly.
Not tweeting about it.
So the moral of the story is...
You know, that last election was purely a referendum on whether the president should tweet like a lunatic. That's all it was.
And the answer is no.
Sorry, Americans, but that's what it was. Yeah. It was just, should the president tweet like a lunatic, yes or no?
I know why you bring this up, and it's a tough one for me because personally I find Rami Ismail insufferable, but someone had to watch that trailer and someone had to do that reaction.
I didn't even see
it. Anyway, he did a whole thing
insufferable.
But he's right. He is, but he's not wrong. On this, he's absolutely right. Like, it is just this glorification of things.
But it's going to be, because it's coming out of America, right?
Exactly.
And we've also spoken about this before, and this is going to be a big change as China gets more influence.
Yeah. American
games glorify what they love.
Yeah.
And that's war, guns, killing. Yeah. It's just how it is, right? Yeah. It's their culture. So video games, and I've said before, video games can be a strong expression of a culture. That's why I believe in Australia they should sink a lot of money into getting Indigenous culture into video games, but like the libs are going to do that. Video games are not made of coal, so it won't happen.
Yeah.
But in America, you do, and what you see with all American games, pretty much war games, that's their culture. That's what they do. What do they export? They export bullets, depleted uranium.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah, Harlequin babies, look it up, or don't because it's fucked.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, but yes, Maddie's right. It'll be all show and no go gameplay wise. Like it'll be shit out.
It'll be bog standard, I reckon.
Exactly.
And look, you know what? Spec-Ops was bog standard first person shooter.
But it was competent. Do you know what I mean? Like it was competent, but that's all it needed to be.
It was better than Mass Effect.
If anything, that makes more of the point because it's like here's this easily digestible gameplay style that you're used to that we've fed you for so long.
Yeah.
By the way, turns out there wasn't any enemy targets amongst the ones you just sent white phosphorus on.
Yeah, it leads you in. It just pulls you in.
Yeah, and you just do it because that's what
you do it. And you have fun doing it, and then you go, oh.
Yeah, and that's all it works. And again, Call of Duty 4, the original Modern Warfare 1, did exactly the same thing. Like it had 2 or 3 scenes. I'm going to spoil them because who gives a fuck. Where the nuke goes off and you're crawling out after everything that you've done and all this. You know, you've tried to take back this Arab country from the person who's taken it over. But it doesn't matter, you got blown up by a nuke, and now you get to crawl across this radioactive wasteland for 40 seconds while you die. While you slowly bleed out and die. And then the other one's the AC-130, where they're just sitting on the plane, sitting above everyone. That's one for the highlight reel.
So they're talking like the WikiLeaks...
Correct.
Yep.
And then you've got blokes on the ground, fucking, like, get down. Like, it's just the actual horrors of warfare. Again, it can be done well, I just have no faith that Fallujah can do it well. Like, I just,
Okay, now, but look, I want to say this, and I mean this as strong as I can, but I'm not going to try and use any floral language or anything. If people are worried about games like 6 Days in Fallujah, and they're worried it's going to glorify war, if they're worried it's going to normalise the murder of Iraqis, then the problem isn't the game. The problem is that your army, I'm talking Americans, your army is there, and it shouldn't be there. Yeah. And it is murdering people every day, and does it not just there, it's doing it in Syria, pretending to be ISIS.
Libya was another example of them saving the French, you know what I mean? Like,
Look, if the US military can stay the hell out of everywhere else, and stay out of everyone's business, and stop invading countries, games like 6 Days in Fallujah wouldn't even be a topic. We wouldn't even be talking about it.
This is the thing.
It'd be a fictional thing.
No one is going to commit a large-scale invasion of America. It would be literal suicide. Like you could.
You want it now?
Yeah, and like
maybe 50 years ago.
I could like people. Americans are on that fearful mindset of there'll be another Pearl Harbor, and I was like, then they've got 9/11, and I'm like, but 9/11 was a completely people can't understand how much that changed the landscape. People keep going back to World War II and Vietnam and all these crucial.
And the Patriot Act. Guess who wrote the Patriot Act? Or wrote the draft for it?
It was old mate Joe Biden.
Yeah, sleepyhead.
Yeah. So to me, like people use these
the same people pop up all over again.
And I just the only game that I really feel has touched on very specifically how much 9/11 affected the cultural zeitgeist was GTA 4. As much as I didn't like playing that game, Grand Theft Auto 4. It turns you into a scumbag, though. I'm told. Anyway,
I played it, and then I went and signed up for the Liberal Party.
Yeah.
wait.
Number 5, I can see it happening.
I do what? Sign me up. Hey, Andrew Lemming. Well, you have an application for me.
To go on to Maddie's point, Maddie brings up playing Cowboys and Indians and stuff like that. I just watched the Marlon Brando acceptance speech for Godfather, where he sent out the Native American woman to accepted on his behalf.
I heard about that, yeah.
And he was the original... Like, you want to talk about woke... This was 1973.
Yeah, but that's legit woke. That's not
exactly,
not fake woke.
Yeah.
That's not fake woke.
That's being invited to Martin Luther King's funeral woke, yeah.
There's bullshit woke they got now where, hey, all our generals are women. Yay!
Yeah, hooray!
We fixed all... Because they used to say if women ran the world, there'd be no wars. And so the Yanks had proved that wrong. They put all the women in charge of all the defence contractors. Yeah. You go, well, how did we get here?
That photo was so macabre. There's Joe Biden, you know, standing there smiling, and 3 generals flanking him. It's like, didn't you guys just bomb Syria 3 days ago? Like, wasn't it 3 days ago?
Yeah, but women did. That's woke.
More women, warmongers.
Yeah. Anyway, we say cowboy. Maddie's point is, playing cowboys. Now that's another thing. That's what Hollywood does. That's Hollywood's strength, and they do it not just in games, but that's part of their culture. The whole Western genre, and I love westerns, and they do influence. They do create. Star Wars exists because of westerns and that. They were all about what they did. The Indians.
Very, very similarly.
They killed them all.
You've got so many of these random, random westerns.
That should protected.
Again, the best westerns came out of Italy because they could actually look at it from there. So that's why the spaghetti westerns.
I thought the best westerns were Japanese.
No, well that too. I mean, that's a complete other conversation. But Sergio Leone filmed them. I'm pretty sure they were all filmed in Spain. That's why all the Mexicans look Spanish and Italian because they don't quite look Mexican. They don't have that South American kind of look to them because they all Spanish or thing. So close enough. They all speak Spanish. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure he filmed them in the foothills of Italy and Spain. They're some of the best. Ones like Unforgiven is a deconstruction of the genre that made Clint Eastwood who he was. And I mean, it's beautiful. Unforgiven's one where
it was so good. It was so well done.
And the gunfight with that, where he shoots him, and it's him just screaming, "I'm dying, I'm dying!" Give the man a glove. They've just shot him. He's the bad guy. He just shot one of them, and then they give him a thing of water because they're like, well, we want to let him die. And it's just this complete deconstruction of the idea of you know what I mean?
Unforgiven, something special.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. So you can get good ones that actually deconstruct it, but then 9 times out of 10 it's just, what can we, again.
Okay. Anyway, if you don't want to have petitions about games like 6 Days of Fallujah, fuck off out of all the other countries, US military, and stop killing people. That's what normalises it. Don't blame video games. Yeah. Don't blame, because it's your politicians and your defence contractors.
Well, I mean, even you can get the American army to provide trucks and all that kind of stuff for your movies. They just get final pass on the script.
Yeah, they do that with ISIS as well. Yeah. Let's move off that.
Yeah.
So people who
that one went for a while anyway.
Yeah, people always will when we get on that topic because there's some we do. We're both commies.
Yeah.
No, we're both.
I remember that day that you did one of the.
That's a proper
the 4 things, and you rated higher on the social standing than I did. I was more libertarian than you.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, I think it was.
I was probably around gun rights, to be honest.
That's more commie than Dan.
Yeah.
Even that's
that's saying something. Yeah.
See,
even
Dan's King commie. Yeah. Okay, now, all right. What are we looking at? PlayStation VR owners who like waving dildos around are out of luck because their PlayStation VR won't be using Move controllers soon. They're bringing out a new controller which looks a little bit like the Rift one, but a little bit more fancy.
Look like Sony Ericsson symbols. That was one that Luke said in our Discord. He goes, I'm glad to see they're reusing the Sony Ericsson brand. I'm like, that's pretty funny. Because they look like the circular green E that Sony Ericsson used. They're just repurposing it.
So you won't be waving around the little dildo things you have for the Move. They need a camera, don't they, as well? So it's going to
yes and no. The only game we ever used to play with them was Joust, was Johann Sebastian Joust, which was based on movement thing in it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, so
basically, effectively, PlayStation VR is going to get Oculus style handsets, which are a hell of a lot better. I've used them; they're pretty nice. I've got an Oculus,
and plus, it also means you don't bump your hands on things because there's a cover on top.
Yeah, no, you do like my daughter did and actually break that cover. Like banging on something.
Good job.
So, thanks, Mick. So now, another VR one. You might not have heard this, but I don't have any details.
Pay attention to VR.
There is a rumour that Microsoft is going to bring out VR for the Series X.
I wouldn't be surprised. Spencer hinted at it ages ago. It was like in a passing sentence. He said something regarding external apps and external things that they're making. I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like now's the time to strike because fake Oculus has turned into nothing.
Go on, it's fun. Look, I don't know how to describe it. It's fun, but I wouldn't buy it again.
Yeah. It's for enthusiasts. I said that to anyone. To me, the strength has always been augmented reality. And that's why Nintendo sold a heap of the Mario Kart thing, because it was augmented reality and not...
Well, the next story is going to be augmented reality, because,
VR is your one. For me, it's the same,
Look, but in saying that, I know my son and all his friends are on VR a lot.
Yeah.
They do. Maybe
it's a generational thing,
yeah. Maybe it is. They spend a lot of time in VR. They love it. My daughter plays Beat Saber.
Yeah.
All the time.
But Beat Saber's the only good game, so...
Yeah, and
Beat Saber, Alex...
I hacked Beat Saber to put all the extra songs on. Elite hacker. So I downloaded something.
All those years of coding, yeah. It's like
put it into demo and downloaded a thing from a website. So I'm a hacker. I am, according to Hollywood movies, I'm a hacker.
Hacker
by their definitions, AR. Now, you mentioned AR. Now, there was a game last year, Minecraft tried to bring out AR, but it failed spectacularly. Maybe because we were all locked indoors, or maybe there just wasn't the same market. I'm surprised. I expected it to be big.
They were trying to do the Minecraft holodesk thing as well, so they were definitely trying.
That's never come out. That was with the HoloLens, where you could, and the demos. You look, they were like 5 or 6 years ago, and they were great. But we've never even seen HoloLens.
Military bought it up is what it'll be.
Well, yeah, so they can work out who in Fallujah they need. So now, but there's a Pikmin AR game coming.
Okay, that'll do good.
Yes, and now I don't know any details other than it says there's Pikmin everywhere around you. I thought that's interesting because in the game you throw them at things.
Oh, but it's Niantic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is Niantic.
So it'll be shit out. So yeah, that's
okay. Well, they made Pokemon Go, and that's actually that's like a kind of AR game that actually worked.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't really rely on the AR. But you don't even need to do that. Like you can turn off the camera in the AR part of it, and it's literally just like a map tracer.
Yeah,
so,
I know my wife still plays that.
Yeah.
She runs off to hotspots or whatever they are.
What are they called?
Pokey things.
Pokestops.
Yeah, there's one at the top of our estate, and so she'll run up there every so often. Oh, there's Pokemon there. So she gets all excited.
That's good. I mean, it's good exercise. If anything else, like God bless them for getting people out walking and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like you go to the beach or whatever, and you go to Mornington. There's that big spot there in the Mornington Pier. And you see people walking up and down the pier all the time, chasing down squirtles.
That'd be cool because if they're on their phones, you see a couple drop in. All right, cool. That's another one.
They're just waiting for Lapras to show up.
Miitopia is coming to Switch. What's Miitopia? Was that the phone one or was
it? It was.
Did they get shut down the phone?
It was Tomodachi. It's not Tomodachi. But Miitopia is it's that similar kind of. We're telling stories through.
It's being brought to Switch. I thought that was nice, but I want the jigsaws back. I want the puzzles back. I want this. Because
Dom still has his 3DS and his Street Passes. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I've still got. I think I want to sit at home. Now they give you ones over the internet.
I remember Kirsty was in the tens of thousands before they made it easy to get them. Before the cap was. Removed so you could have like 100 or whatever. She was 10 at a time.
Yeah, 10 in your queue. Yeah. Oh, we do an EB Expo.
Every
30 seconds.
Keep tapping A, just keep tapping A.
At its height, that was massive. But 10 was just ridiculous. Yeah. Nintendo. It's in the name, Nintendo. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So anyway, what was it going to be, Miitopia? Now, Dishonored, Skyrim, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, and Prey now support FPS boost on Series X and X, which is basically what we're seeing now is you've got now they own them. Yeah, you're going to see those tweaks and enhancements only coming in one spot, really. So faster frames per second. And
so they're flat 60s and stuff like that.
Anyone care Fallout 76? Anyone play that?
Luke plays it, but it was free, so yeah.
I got a copy for free. Husk gave, and happy birthday to Husk for the other day, by the way. Husk gave me a copy, and I never.
They reckon that the Brotherhood of Steel expansion makes it reasonable because it's actually got some story now.
Can I go nuts with the robot?
I mean, Liberty Prime.
Yeah. Shoot commies. They still do that? Well, that'd be Antifa now.
It depends, yeah.
Put a big MAGA hat on the robot.
Didn't Antifa storm the Capitol on 6th of January? That's what I was told.
Everybody reckons it's the other ones.
Yeah.
But I must say, for a country that keeps talking about revolution and protecting all that stuff, they don't... Now, I'll take out who did the storming, right? the fact is, they had their capital stormed by people who weren't happy with the government. They don't have the stomach for the stuff they talk about. Yeah. When they talk the land of the brave and the home of the free or whatever, they're not. They are not. They are gutless
Frenchies will do it with fucking traffic cones and yellow vests, you know.
Yeah, when it comes to risk of an actual real, like, not revolution, but a real sort of change, they all the assholes clench up and we can't actually do it. We'll talk about it all day.
That's what I love. Is I'm like, I took a photo in Nancy Pelosi's office. I stole an envelope from her. I told her, like, if the bitch was there, I would have tied her up. But now I'm sad that you're putting me in jail. I'm like, imagine Robespierre doing that. You know what I mean? Like, imagine any of the...
Or what they do to Guy Fawkes.
Yeah. So, anyway, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And so, to me, like, again, like, yeah, because I always love it.
They don't have the stomach for what they talk about.
The American narrative is always that the French are cowards. And I'm like, you just don't pay attention to history if you think that. That's dumb. Like, don't say dumb things. Like, people won't pay attention.
Americans.
Yeah. I know. I'm asking a lot.
Half our audience is in the US.
But yeah, I feel like we do pick on Americans a bit on this. Don't get me wrong. Individual human beings are normally fine if you can get them, but fuck, you guys have had. I mean,
thing.
Our propaganda was bad enough, and you guys copped it way worse than us. So you know. Like,
well, their government's not out raping people and stuff. So
yeah, they
got that over us.
Well, no, because
they have Sleepyhead in charge.
All the Republicans keep getting done for pedophilia. Like,
do they?
Well, Roy Jones lost by 2 points, 2 percentage points, and he was going out with 15-year-old girls when he was 35.
I see a lot of them were Epstein. They've never dug into Epstein. If they anyway, if you want to destroy the patriarchy, Epstein's how to do it, by the way. But no credit to the Liberal Party. There's no pedos there yet.
Yeah. So, well, we know of. Yeah, wait for Christensen stories to come out.
Yeah. You're going to get us in trouble.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. What have we got? Bell and Wonderland. Now, I played the Bell and Wonderland demo. Cute, $90. No, it's not a $90 game.
If it was a $30 game, you could forgive it just from being.
I was thinking $20 or $30. Yeah, look, it's cute. It's fun to play. It's how games were 10 years ago.
Yes, but that's the problem. It's how games were 10, 15 years ago.
Yuji Naka. I was going to say Yuki Naka. I think I was about to get. Yeah. Look, he's done it. Yes, it is obviously Knights inspired.
Yeah,
it is obviously, and it's got that charm about it. And it is nice to play, but it's how games used to. And I compared it to ukulele, and it's a lot like ukulele.
Yeah.
I'd like that sort of thing, but it's not $90.
Yeah.
Now they've got the reason I actually brought that up is they've got a day one patch. Because there's part of the game, they call it a bug, but it's part of the game. They'll basically do like that Simpsons episode where you'll be rolling on the floor with an epileptic fit.
I did see that, yeah.
So they've said if you have any chance of an epileptic seizure, download the day one patch before you play it because you'll be paying $90 to roll around on the floor. So what's his? Go to an LNP party, they sound wild.
Yeah. Sounds something alright, yeah.
Of course Effie would say that. So anyway, let's see where we are. Okay. Sorry, you were going to say? Okay, I've got one that now. This is.
I hate it when he does this. It's always bad.
No. It's one that I've got to be careful how I describe to make sure I remember because I didn't write it all down. I got to remember. Okay, so a hacker or a group of hackers, a couple of hackers, and a couple of them apparently confirmed this. Apparently, there's probably the PS4.
Yes.
The PS4, when the battery dies, it goes off to check the PS4's Sony servers to verify that everything can still play games. And part of that is they don't want people to turn the clock back, and which is what my daughter does for Animal Crossing all the time. She's put, every time I turn on the Switch, it's a different date. She's trying to get stuff in Animal Crossing. But okay, so they've got that.
Has she bought the Sanrio cards yet?
She's trying to find them.
Good luck.
If you know where,
you know who to ask. She has the old ones.
She tried, and so far not. Anyway, so let's talk about it off air. Now where's okay? Now, so when the battery dies. He then has to go off and check with Sony servers to make sure they can still play games. Problem is, when Sony turns off the servers for the PS4 to check, and that will happen because it always happens, it won't be able to do that. So if your battery dies and you replace it, and it goes off to check with Sony's servers to see that it can still
sync up,
it's valid and it's the right date, even it won't be able to do that. And what the hacker found then is that at that point, the PlayStation 4 will not play any digital games.
Yeah,
nothing will play. Well, it says digital. It won't play any DLC and stuff as well because it can't verify.
Yeah, and because this was the thing, because this was from a rumor that they were looking to shut down PS3, Vita, and PSP store. And so everyone's like, well, shit, the internal clocks will mess with that. Hang on, is that going to be a problem for PS4 as well? Turns out, yes, it is. The way they set it up, it absolutely.
Well, that was the other story, because we all went digital and everything. Yeah. But yes, I don't think anyone's going to care the PS Vita and the PSP store being shut down.
Yeah.
But it was also the PS3 store, and there's still like PS3s being used around the place.
Especially when you've got stuff like, because the PS3, the nature of its hardware, games like Metal Gear Solid 4, Tokyo Jungle. Well, Tokyo Jungle could be ported, but Metal Gear Solid 4, now you would probably have the raw computing speed to just override like any concerns there. But as it stands, like the only platform you can play Metal Gear Solid 4 on is the PS3. Like people can emulate it and stuff, but like I say, it's all based on how hard you can just literally put so much power that it can replicate it virtually, kind of thing. That's basically the main.
Which is why Sony wants to go cloud for that stuff.
Yeah.
But that's possible.
Yeah, I guess it's similar to Y2K in that sense. In the sense that I mean, obviously that was more of a
But there's going to be a lot of things like this as we have this checking server stuff. But that's what's going to happen with the PS4. Now, it's probably not really going to be a problem with the Xbox because they don't have a console life cycle anymore. They just have upgrades.
Well, I think that was probably part of the appeal of it, was like people can do that and stuff like that. Plus, I mean, the original Xbox is so hackable now that it wouldn't matter so much. You know, you basically download the entire library. Xbox 360
PSPs and Vitas are hackable.
Like crazy. But the PS3 is not. PS3 is still tough to do. Yeah. Like it's much easier than it was. But I mean, that was why they tried to put GeoHots in jail. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but Sony, right back to I remember Lixang when they shut them down. They just didn't like them selling PSPs to the wrong market. They were just
and the wrong market, of course, was mostly Sony employees.
That was the rumor, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so PlayStation news. Not only of the Vita, PSP, and PS3's digital stores. They have shut down or shut down?
Rumoured to be shut down. Okay. It's still a rumour, so yeah.
But your PS4, when the day comes at when they shut down the servers of PS4, when your CMOS battery dies, it's that's it. There's no more. There's no more PS4 games for you. Even if they're digital downloads on your PS4, it's all gone.
Yeah.
I notice Oz is watching, and Oz is going to be like going, yes, don't buy digital, buy hard copies. Because that was his thing.
Yeah, well, Switch especially is really good for like live copies. Is in like you don't have to install them. They just play off the card kind of thing. So it's like if there's any system that just does disc, well, it's the Nintendo one, unsurprisingly. But even Xbox nowadays, you put in a game like I bought a copy of Call of Duty. Hypothetically put it in. It's still going to download 70 gig worth of patches on top of what I put in there. You know what I mean?
Look, I used to. I was being on the chat. We used to talk about that a lot when we were doing the old Game Plus streams.
They're all authentication tokens now.
In the future, and you can fake it, but in the future, it is going to make retro gaming really hard. Now, you think retro gaming, we think now it's Galaga or Galia, Pac-Man and that, right? Moon Patrol, Oz. Yeah. Moon Patrol's not anyway. Oz know what I'm talking about, but. To people, eventually to the kids now, retro is God of War, Halo. It's not. We see retro as the simple like 8-bit and 16-bit games, but retro when kids get older, they want to relive the old stuff. Their chances of doing it are very low. So anyway, that's some PlayStation news. Now, Maddie actually said in chat about the Channel 9 hackers. I don't know the details of that, but Channel 9 reckons they were hacked today and they had to play reruns of everything. They couldn't play new stuff. Because you know how all the news services now they're all digitised. So they've got basically software running their entire process, right? ABC tried it, I think, first, and they had errors everywhere a few years ago, but now they all do it, where they're basically these systems that just do their whole show's programming. But Channel 9 reckons they were...
There's a rip-off game of Flight Control on the Switch store.
Yeah, Oz is right saying that. Flight Control. Flight Control is one that you just can't get anymore. But
Flappy Bird was the other one.
You get a rip-off. You won't miss Flappy Bird. but yeah, Flight Control, I remember playing that a lot on the original iPhone when I was
old school
years ago.
iPhone 4, yeah.
Yeah, now that's just gone. Yeah. Anyway, what was it going with? Channel 9, so Channel 9 today has been basically showing reruns because they reckon hackers got in. Now, I'm always suspicious of hacker stories because hacker stories... I'm always
suspicious of Peter Costello, so...
I'm always... Look, hacker stories are normally... because I run a lot of websites, so I see a lot of hacking. I see a lot of people trying to hack, and in my history, there might be a little bit of hacking in my past. Actual hacking, not this shit they do now. And so when I see these hacking stories, I'm always suspicious, especially if anybody from the government's involved.
90% of it's still phishing. Like 90% of it's still social engineering more than it is anything else.
Yeah, and look, you see the ones that try on websites, they're just password guesses and stuff. And look, there's really... Get everybody just put two-factor authentication on everything, including Channel 9.
Imagine that. Peter Costello just didn't check his phone. That's why they got hacked.
Podesta's password was password.
Yeah.
Anyway, Channel 9, Matty says about that. Be suspicious of whatever they say it was because hacking stories are normally used. There was an article, and normally they're good in Worldwide Socialist Web. Me being a commie reading about what
I've seen you linking them lately. Yeah.
What would happen between a war between China and the US? Yeah. And one of the things they said was China would use a massive cyber attack to take out the US fleet, and that stuff doesn't happen in real life. That's Hollywood fantasy. It just doesn't happen. So
that might have backroads into things like
just make it up,
power generators and stuff, but it would be on a hodgepodge. State by state kind of scale. It wouldn't be like there's no like Xi Jinping like Winnie the Pooh's going woohoo and then push the button and everything's going doesn't work like that.
It's not like and even the famous one Stuxnet that the Israelis
that was a human factor though. He put it in there.
Yeah, the Israelis got around with. They used can't remember, we used a program in it that worked at the place years ago. I didn't, but the guys that used to. Basically a machine control system, effectively. The effort they went to try and get it into the place was actually massive. You can't just... one of my favourite movies ever is War Games, where you use it. It used to be like that, but nowadays it's just not.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the channel. Okay, let's... We may finish with it now, because I only have one more thing, and that's the BAFTA Game Awards.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, what are you saying?
How many Sony games are on there? How many Sony games are on the list?
Now, do you remember what I said? There's sort of an Americanness about how they protect their industry. Okay, now the BAFTAs are UK, aren't they?
British actor, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the awards, and the awards have been announced. No one gives a shit anymore about these things. But the best game was Hades. It beat you know who. The best British game, they had a category for best.
Hang on, what you know who? Like Last of Us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the best British game was some Sackboy game, so that's the best they're doing.
Sackboy platformer, yeah.
If that's your best British game, we're doing better games in Australia at the moment.
Fall Guys was a British game. Why didn't they do that?
They did Sackboy. It's a war show. Yeah, war show shit. Anyway, let's go through it.
That's a Sony game.
Last of Us 2 got best animation.
So that makes sense. I mean, it's pretty good.
Okay.
Sony game.
Is it all... technically, aren't all video games animation?
Yes, but some are better than others.
Was it the best? Like,
I
haven't played it.
I mean, let's say
there's a lot of games. That's
let's
what
say
I'm
we're just talking cutscenes. It was not Uncanny Valley, and that's an impressive thing among itself. But even movement, even
and I didn't even get traumatized by how heavy you looked.
Even mate, the triggered certain channels very badly. But like even the way the grass moved, the death animations, all that kind of stuff. Absolutely, I can.
The golfing. Anyway, so best animation is Last of Us 2. The best audio is Ghosts of Tsushima.
So there's another Sony game.
Right? Best game design was Hades again. The best multiplayer. This is weird. Sometimes it's like they just give awards out. Yeah. The best multiplayer was Animal Crossing. I'm sure I double checked it when I wrote it down.
That's so dumb.
Was that just wanting to give?
It's not even multiplayer.
They just wanted to give him an award.
They did.
So it's like how Last of Us got best animation.
Because they wouldn't have given it to a shooter ever. So
best music was Spider-Man Miles Morales.
So there's another Sony.
Best narrative Hades. Best performer. You're gonna love this. Have a guess. I'm going to cover it. Have a guess who the best performer, voice actor, best performer in a game was. I'll give you a clue. Voice actress.
Yeah, is it what's her name? Tara or whatever, like the chick who did Abby.
Or Laura Bailey?
Yeah, Laura Bailey.
Yeah, it was.
So,
yeah.
so time and again, this is not even close to Laura Bailey's best performance. Like, not even close to her best performance. She's a brilliant voice actress, but it's not even close to her best performance. But yeah, again, the kind of the woke, counter-woke shit is really starting to fuck with my head.
Because it stops people judging things properly.
Yeah.
And it's with everybody. There's a reactionary aspect to it as well, right?
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of idiots get upset, and then there's a reactionary idiots get upset as well. And then they can't make clear decisions anymore because they can't look at things and go, what do I actually believe? Now it becomes this layers of, well, people I don't like reckon this, and people I do like reckon this. So the decision-making is impacted.
Laura Bailey is Kaine. She's so many of these other, like, just brilliant roles, and this is the one she gets it for. Like, this is the, what do I say? The makeup, the like when what's his name? DiCaprio won one for, was it Wolf of Wall Street or some crap, as opposed to all the other movies he's been in that were 10 times better. It was like, this is the
consolation one.
Consolation.
We've got to give you an award.
The consolation Oscar. This is the consolation. Like, it's not her best role. Laura Bailey's a great voice actress. She's brilliant, but I just don't like. And as much as I don't mind Abby as a character, I think the arc was great. I just don't think she was the best actress in that. I don't think she was the best actor in that. Let alone, and that's even if we're ignoring Troy Baker and the lady who plays Ellie, who were both fantastic. Dina was great. There was even that. I mean, how do you pick one out of that game? The answer's just not Abby. It's just not Laura Bailey's best.
It's like we last. No, what was that game? The Turn Back Time game. It's not last. I was going to say.
Prince of Persia.
No, you turn back time. You're a girl, and you got this obnoxious.
Life is Strange.
Life is Strange, right? So
she was one of them.
Okay, so the person who won the award then, or won Best Voice Actress, was Ashley Birch, who actually played the really annoying character who had like 3 different lines and only one way of saying everything, right? Yeah. And she just wasn't that good. Whereas Sam, I think the main character, the actress who played Sam was sensational, but she wasn't a big name, so she didn't get the award. Is Ashley Birch related to that pathetic Birch guy that works with the
pretty sure it's his sister,
Mr. Magic Tricks?
He
must hang around in Bangkok. They do Magic Tricks.
I think you keep saying he. The only reason I bring it up is because I'm pretty sure you don't say he anymore.
Who's this?
With not Ashley Birch, the other one. The
brother. Oh, okay.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
So it's like a Elliot thingy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay,
wasn't aware. Don't at me for that. I
might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure
I've heard of it.
But like, she's in so many great.
She's still pathetic.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Doesn't change it. Yeah.
Doesn't change it.
But yeah,
and not for that reason. I want to be clear. Not for that. We've gone straight.
But yeah, like she does so many great roles, and I just don't think that was even close to her best one. Do you know what I mean?
Well, she won the award for it. Oh, and the public vote. The public vote in the BAFTAs. Have a guess what game won the public vote?
Was it Last of Us?
It's a Sony game. Yeah.
I think it's again. There
weren't many AAA games that year.
Did Sony sponsor the BAFTAs? Did Sony sponsor?
I told you that because I worked a lot in corporate and being in my area.
Sony official sponsor New York BAFTA. Bang.
Yeah, and I've been
Sony official. Yeah,
Sony's official sponsor. Well, now, you know, in my corporate time, I've had a lot to do with marketing and that, and I actually have had a website win an award for best website, and we got offered if we paid certain advertising spend for the company giving the award, we'd win the award. The company I did the website for paid it, therefore I've got an award-winning website. I know how this stuff works. Yeah. All awards are
the reason I bring it up, right? So
like ScoMo's award, he got an award from Trump, remember?
Well, yeah,
a medal.
True,
Medal of Freedom.
Yeah. So I remember we had the Australian Game Awards, whatever it was called, Video Game Awards, whatever it was. Sony sponsored that.
He's cancelling me now.
Yes, Sony sponsored that.
Yeah.
And then the PR they did best PR agency, and of course Sony's PR agency won one Green Bean one, and they were fucking useless. So like, it was So Sony have moved on. Their new PR agency isn't bad. But the one they had at the time was just awful. And so, like, it was like, I'm sitting there dealing with these actual professionals and a lot of these other companies, and I'm just like, this is so rigged. Yeah. This is so rigged.
Awards are either paid for or they're like the Lizzies and they're just friends.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. All awards are. That's this thing people need to understand. When you see awards, and maybe once upon a time in the past it was different, but definitely not now.
I'm just going to put that in our Discord and save that.
Okay. Anyway, Sony, how many Sony games won? I didn't write down all the awards.
There's 9. 7 by my count.
Basically all Sony except for Hades.
Yeah.
Oh, Animal Crossing for best multiplayer because obviously Sony didn't want
in a year of Fortnite, Warzone, Call of Duty, Black Ops. There's so many great multiplayer. It's like Among Us. You could have given it to Among Us. Doesn't matter. Like, yeah. Anyway, moral story is Sony sponsored them, and that's all I'll add to that conversation.
That? Well, that's just
BAFTA's a wank. There was as much wank as anything else, except they used to have a reputation, and they still kind of do. They I mean, that BAFTA's was the one where Joaquin Phoenix went off, wasn't it? So they definitely. I don't know that. Yeah, it was. Well, it was the acceptance speech. I'm pretty sure the whole shebang. He went Marlon Brando on it.
Oh really? Did he shoot anybody? So you get what you fucking deserve. I love that.
I know you do because you're fucking edgy boy, fucking Gen Xer. But I think we're done and we've kept it under.
Yeah, we're done. So, no, I'm done. I've got no more news. That's it. All done.
Is there anything else that's worth mentioning for me? I mean, we had all the either Xbox stuff come the other day. Switch Pro's getting closer to announcements, so just keep an eye on that. And when it happens, I'll be sending.
Goes in production in July.
Maybe. That's a good question.
I heard that is rumour. On this podcast.
I've heard rumours of November for Halo, things like that. There's a few good rumours.
That's going to be
There's a few good rumours going around.
Yeah, I'm calling that.
And it's the 20th anniversary as well. I'll go Richmond.
Oh yeah. Block that guy.
Yeah. The only quality team that can beat is Hawthorn. For whatever reason, we can't beat Richmond.
We used to.
Yeah. But yeah, for the last 10 years, think of it. I reckon our win ratio with them would be 30% maximum.
Yeah, well done to the Tigers today. Yeah. They did the Hawks.
But I tell you, like,
I thought we did okay, but they were toying with us.
Do you know what I reckon the Tigers' secret is? I reckon their physio. Drugs. No, that's Essendon. That's Essendon.
Oh, sorry.
I reckon that their physiotherapy team is just the best in the world because
they're full strength.
They must have like 10 people on Dusty's back every game because he carries 20 blokes every fucking week. Every fucking week he carries 20 blokes. 20 very mediocre players. He fucking carries them. He's just a freak. Again, like you keep saying Lee Matthews, but yeah.
Look, I'm inclined to say that Dusty's the best player I've seen.
Yeah.
For being able to influence the game. And it was described in the commentary today, I can't remember which one it was. I was watching on KO, which is Fox, that Sean Burgoyne was on Dusty for a while.
Yeah.
And Dusty still had 20 touches to half time or something.
And Burgoyne is the tagger of taggers, you know what I mean?
But he's old now, but he's a really skilled player. And they probably put him on for his footy smarts, but it just wasn't working. But it was described as Dustin Martin's a cat playing with a really old mouse.
Yeah,
right. Toying with a really old mouse. And look, he's that good. But anyway, there you go.
Yeah, it's just it's there.
They may win another. They may win another flag. And
see, Oz gets it. Even when we was three-peating, right? They beat us every year in the home and away. It's always been a thing. For as long as I fucking remember, Richmond has just had.
It's doing so good to keep the podcast under an hour, and Richmond's wrecked it.
Yeah, as always.
Bloody Tigers.
Well, I mean, technically the podcast will be. It's just the vodcast won't be. So.
Okay. Well, anyway,
Catch Warriors.
Tigers might win it again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it now. They might win it again, and that'll be 4 in 5 years, and that's disgusting.
Yeah, but it's just I just don't.
I think Collingwood fans were bad.
Okay. So what's Richmond's Geelong like? So think of it in the years when Geelong won 3 in a row, or when Brisbane won 3 in a row. There was always 2 or 3 teams that were as good, and it came down on the day.
Well, Port Adelaide when Brisbane was good, and Port Adelaide just couldn't get through the preliminary finals.
Yeah. Then Geelong were another one that was for the longest time. Then it was Geelong Hawthorn and Collingwood. Like Collingwood or Port would be that third one that was vying for the top. Who's the top team that's on Richmond at the moment? I don't see another one. Like I feel like this is the era to just win 3 peats because there's no other good enough team.
The secret is
the only one is West Coast. Well, yeah.
Look, they talk about finals football versus normal football. Richmond plays finals football all the time.
Yeah.
And so they don't have to live for finals. They don't have to change for finals.
Yeah.
That's how they play for 22. And right now, Dustin Martin's at a point where the first 22 rounds are his pre-season. Where
he just walks up, goes up. Just walks up on grand finals. I'll take that Norm Smith, thank you. I'm out.
Some of the players, Oz won't like this. Some of the players are just good average players, right?
Yeah.
Or a lot of them are good average players. But they just have the best gun that's ever played.
Yeah, that's the whole, could we send Dusty to Sydney? Imagine what he could do with another average team like Sydney. You know what I mean? Like
if you played,
he'd win another 5 premierships.
If he played for the 2013 to 2015 Hawthorn team, we wouldn't have lost the game.
Yeah.
So if you put Dusty into the top 10 teams, they've all got a shot of. Like he is that far ahead of everybody else, and that's just and I've seen Buddy play. I actually used to work at Caninia Park during Ablett's
Yeah,
time.
right.
I saw Ablett Senior play. He was never able to drag Geelong over the line of the flag though. Anyway, that's enough, Rich.
That's enough.
Oz right now is just sitting there, just big grin on his face, I reckon.
Couch Warriors events are back, so make sure you check them out in your local state.
CouchWarriorsLeague.com. I bet
CouchWarriorsLeague.com. Yep. If you're in Queensland and South Australia, they're doing events there as well. We'll be back for a bunch of other stuff. Streaming should hopefully be kicking back off tomorrow with Monster Hunter. So if you are watching...
Monster Hunter Rise,
the new one.
There we go.
So that'll be interesting to get back in the saddle there and do that couple of nights.
42 seconds.
And I think that's it. We should say our goodbyes. NewGamePlus.tv, at NewGamePlusTV on all the main socials.
Except Parliament Game. Sorry.
I mean, maybe Dermie will start those at some point.
I
couldn't.
NewGamePlus.tv. We've beaten it out for the podcast. That's good. Let's go quick.
Yeah, done. See ya. Bye.